I genuinely can't believe this. This is just horrible. Foxy the Fox 110, I gave you some leniency in my last commentary, but now I really think you need to get off the internet for good.
Well, guess what? I'm never gonna get off the internet.
Well, I guess that's your problem then, because it doesn't look like you have any plans on actually improving as a content creator and becoming someone that people actually want to watch anymore. Enjoy your dwindling subscriber count and audience, since you're only gonna get more hate and negativity with this kind of attitude.
Telling a minor that sharing CP is, quote, acceptable and can be forgiven. What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking.
I know you said you weren't thinking clearly in the screenshot, but if you are incapable of keeping a level head on serious matters like this, then you shouldn't be talking about them,
Well, good point.
especially not to minors. This was as recent as 2022, keep in mind. That's only 2 years ago. You were still an adult at that time. This is completely unacceptable behavior. Foxy the Fox 110, I am around your age, and even back then I still knew better than to do or say things like that. Foxy the Fox 110 also goes on to defend someone for sharing CP, and says that she herself would be okay with sharing it in order to, quote, expose someone.
Well, how are we supposed to expose somebody for doing that stuff then? Even if we cover it up, I consider it or whatever the word is. But I know why I said it was a mistake though. Like, made a mistake though, because I didn't realize using it to expose someone and considering it like basically covering it up so you can nobody will see it to expose someone. It's still saving CP. I didn't even know that. So that's basically how it's a mistake.
You're only fooling yourself if you think you're doing this whole exposing thing the correct way. You're not exposing them for their disgusting behavior, you're just helping them get away with it and letting them continue this harmful behavior instead of exposing their username so that they get properly reported to the right authorities. Also, you can't just blame it all on a mistake when you said it repeatedly. You knew exactly what you were doing, and now you're just making excuses for yourself.
Being a pervert.
I'm
This
not a pervert.
right here makes my blood boil. Foxy the Fox 110, it is never acceptable under any circumstances to save or distribute nude pictures of a minor. Even if it's censored, it's still wrong. Even if you think you had good intentions, attempting to expose a minor for being a pervert is ridiculous. Children who exhibit sexual behaviors like this are usually even if you think
I'm gonna go back.
you had good
I'm not sure if I'm
intentions.
a pervert or not.
Well,
Now.
Foxy the order to, quote, expose someone for being a pervert. This right here makes my blood.
Or you weren't talking about me, or you're talking. By the way, said exposing someone. My bad.
Boil. Foxy the Fox 110, it is never acceptable under any circumstances to save or distribute nude pictures of a minor. Even if it's censored, it's still wrong. Even if you think you had good intentions, attempting
Which I did have good intentions.
to expose a minor for being a pervert is ridiculous. Children who exhibit sexual behaviors like this are usually repeating them, meaning they might be a victim of grooming online or in real life. As an adult, it is your responsibility to approach situations like this with the maturity and nuance it deserves, and not to attempt to ruin what very well could be a potential victim's life by sharing nude images of them. This is absolutely disgusting behavior. I think the people involved in this situation don't seem to understand the gravity of what's been going on, especially not Foxy. Distribution of CP is a very serious crime, one that has a lasting impact on its victims. It's a horrible thing to go through, and for Foxy to even have attempted to portray this as being acceptable in any fashion is disgusting. I also want to add that I'm not lying about this. Foxy flat out admits to doing it here in this screenshot. This message also comes from her My Side of the Story video, where she attempts to defend herself by making poor excuses for her behavior.
I wasn't even making up excuses, I was speaking the truth.
Clearly you didn't provide the whole context and only focused on the parts that made you look like the victim and not the disgusting human being that you actually are. You didn't even talk about how you defended and encouraged an incest pedophile to keep making and sharing disgusting content. You instead chose to ignore all of that and only focus on how hard your life is, because people criticized you.
I want to finish off this video by saying that I do not believe Foxy the Fox 110 is a pedophile, but that she's just extremely immature and doesn't know how to handle situations of this nature. What you should do if you see CP being distributed.
Well, I'm glad you know that I'm glad that you know that I'm not a pedophile. But I'm not immature. But you have a good point that about me not knowing what to do in some situation. Because some situations I don't know what to do.
So she admits that she doesn't know what to do in situations, yet she continues to make the same mistakes and expects people to keep supporting her.
Online is reported immediately and get in contact with the website hosting it either via email or a phone number. In this case, that would be YouTube. Cybertip.org and cybertip.ca can also be used specifically to report online sexual exploitation of children. Both websites are completely anonymous and free to use and will be linked below. I cannot stress enough that distribution of CP is not a joke and is not a matter that should be taken lightly. You also shouldn't be attempting to expose potential victims for being, quote, perverts. Foxy the Fox 110, this is completely disgusting behavior and you should be ashamed of yourself.
But anyways, that's the end of the first video.